Welcome back to Brands Hatch. The sun is kind of, no, it's not actually setting at all, it's actually massively in the sky here as we have the last race of the season in the GB4 Championship. Obviously we have Solved, who has won the championship already. The team's championship was sorted out back at Donington Park, but still loads to race for. And we have a reverse grid race, Piers, and that's always exciting because some of the drivers who are slower in qualifying get to start further up the grid, giving them a better chance of getting on the podium.
Yep, Dan Hickey starting from pole position in this one. Unfortunately, Megan Bruce didn't quite make 103% of the fastest lap time from qualifying, so she'll still be at the back. But Dan Hickey will be up the front of the field, and hey, he's going to have an opportunity for a great result. We've seen him fighting hard this weekend, but don't count out any of the faster drivers like Lucas Blakely, Linus Granfors from scything their way through the field, because this is the last race in the current genre of Formula GB4 cars.
Formula GB4 cars, yeah. That's definitely what it's called.
Formula
You can tell it's been a long season, can't you? Well, let's watch what happened a little bit earlier on then, the penultimate race of the season, as the title was decided.
Highlights from round 20 of the GB4 Championship, partnered by the BRDC. Very swift start from Harry Burgoyne Jr. from third position, but had absolutely nowhere to go. Lucas Blakely straight around the outside of Linus Granfors going through the first corner at Paddock Hill, and now it was time for him to check out into the distance. Linus Granfors in position to win the championship as Finn Harrison would try and go all the way around the outside with a big move straight around the outside of Druids. Linus Granfors with the outside lines, they got to Graham Hill Bend. Not a championship rival for Granfors, he was just trying to keep the likes of Burgoyne Jr. behind, and so would settle behind Harrison. Out wide, Brandon Templeton would go, running through the gravel trap on the exit of Sheen, as they would once again head back out onto the start-finish straight. Bit of a moment and a bit of a slide coming in from Harrison, who would go straight onto the final corner, handing over the position once more to Linus Granfors, who was back heavily on the defence of Harry Burgoyne Jr. and Alicia Palmovsky. Palmovsky would find her way with a brave move coming into Westfield Bend, straight down the inside of Harry Burgoyne Jr. to take over the final position on the podium. Late in the race, Megan Bruce would go over the gravel trap, as her teammate did earlier on in the race, and through the final corner for the fourth time in 2024, it was victory for Lucas Blakely, but it was going to be the championship for Linus Granfors.
There we go. An excellent race where Linus Granfors, I mean, like his family we heard from later on, just a family that just churned out racing drivers. Joel Granfors did really well in GB3 a couple of seasons ago. Linus absolutely fantastic this season. But I have to say, like, if Lucas Blakely had done the whole season, I think Linus would have had another challenger there. And in this race, our commentator Lewis McGlade has challenged Lucas Blakely to win the race from right the way back, starting like towards the back of the grid there. Normally I'd say that's a crazy thought, but given how he can pull out a lead really quickly and he knows how to overtake and control this car, could Lucas Blakely win this race?
Short answer, yes. Long answer, it's going to be tricky. Of course, Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit is a difficult circuit to overtake on. However, he's had such a pace advantage compared to, or the pace gap between the front and the back of the field is bigger here than it has been in previous rounds. So it is possible. If he gets a good start, maybe jumps a couple of rows. But don't count out, you know, there's Linus Granfors, our champion as well. He might want to go out on a high as well. So it's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to it. As much as the championships have been decided, it's still going to be an interesting race. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting to see. Of course, Linus Granfors in the Fortec team, and we have an all Fortec front row with Jack Taylor next to him, next to Dan Hickey on pole position. So, I mean, that's going to be really thrilling to see. Obviously, Linus Granfors celebrating with the rest of the Fortec team. We can see there with the Swedish flag draped over his outgoing GB4 car, did a bit of social media as well. And, you know, it was just a huge team effort, and it always is a team effort, not just with the racing team, but also with the family as well. You know, his family were posing with him for loads of different photos there. Ollie Dutton and Richard Dutton looking super excited to have, you know, another GB4 champion on their hands. Nick Taylor, actually, the inaugural champion, was just over here just saying that he's impressed with what he's been doing as well. And I caught up with his brother, Joel, and also his parents to see how proud they were of their new GB4 champion. I'm now here with the wider Granfors family after the success of Linus winning the GB4 Championship. We have Joel here, who you drove in the GB3 Championship a couple of years ago. Obviously, you couldn't quite win that championship. Are you a little bit jealous now that the younger version of yourself has bagged this trophy?
No, not really. You know, I'm really happy for him, and you know, we worked really hard this year to make this happen, and yeah, just very happy for him. So.
Did you give him a few tips on how to get around this track at Brands Hatch, because you know it well?
Yeah, of course, trying to give him as much tips and tricks that I know of, and seems to have worked out pretty well. So
what you're saying is that you're a huge part in this success?
maybe not a huge part. I think he's the, the biggest part, of course, but I'm definitely a part of it as well. So.
Yeah, it's an absolute team effort and it's a family effort as well. Joachim and Karen, you've been coming over from Sweden. You've been here the whole time, watching, success, and maybe, but it's not going his way. It's a little bit of a stress. You must be over the moon for him to bag this title, especially with another race to go.
Yeah, absolutely. We felt that if it's going to be like the last race today, it's going to be a long day, being nervous. So it was really a relief that we can, make it happen in the second race today.
It's obviously been a great success that you've had, as a family with Fortec as well.
Yeah.
And I'm going to direct this question to you actually, because Richard Dutton said to me earlier, are there any more kids that are coming up? You've got any more younger versions of Joel and Linus?
No, I'm afraid not. It's hard to top this. I mean, we have the Joel who was second, now Linus is first, so we can't top that.
Do you ever get a little bit worried? I know that sometimes parents get a little bit worried when their kids are out there racing because, you are behind quite powerful machines.
No, maybe more in karting, but now I feel the cars are pretty safe. And I trust my kids.
Well, of course, they were brought up beautifully. Final question for you. What's next for Linus?
Yeah, we're hoping to make it to the GB3, of course. That is the next step on the ladder. So, yeah, we hope for that. And we know Joel been there, and it's a great series, and it's going to be a new car next year. Yeah. So it's going to be really good championship, I think.
It will be a fantastic car. Joel, I'm going to ask you finally, that new GB3 car looks pretty good. I mean, I don't know what your plans for the future are. I know you've been in the States. Do you fancy having a go in the new GB3 car?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind. It looks pretty fast, and it's going to be exciting with the DRS as well. So yeah, I think it's going to be some pretty good racing next year. Well,
look, it'd be great to see you and Linus racing at some point. Maybe we can make that happen with Fortec. But look, congratulations. Enjoy this last race and have a great trip back.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. Lovely family, great to catch up with the Grand Force team, as they are a team, and we would hope that we would see Linus in the GB3 Championship next year. I feel that might be the plan, and maybe continuing with Fortec. Who knows? Anyway, we have one race to come. Fortec on the front row, Dan Hickey with Jack Taylor, his teammate, alongside him. For one last time in the GB4 Championship, let's go racing here at Brands Hatch.
Everything is already sorted. The champion has been crowned. Linus Grandforce has already done all the work he needed to do to take the top step of the championship. With that, though, it still means that we've got plenty of fights up and down the order, plenty of positions still to switch around, and plenty of excitement still to come. The battle for second position is separated by just 9 points. Harry McGlade Jr. and Alicia Palmowski will do battle to try and finish runner-up to Linus Grandforce. Lucas Blakely also embroiled in a 5-point fight between himself and Brandon Templeton. I've tasked Lucas Blakely with coming through the order from 10th place to victory. It's going to be a tough one around here, though. Not too many overtaking opportunities, but certainly lots of speed advantage for those KMR Sport drivers. They look absolutely rapid around here. Who's going to end the season victorious? The likes of Sterling Ben, Paddock Hill, of course up towards Druids, the run into Hawthorns and Westfield. Plenty of turns for these drivers to fully commit themselves to for one final time this season. As they roll their way forward, you can see Dan Hickey leading from the reverse grid pole. What are his chances of taking a victory in this one? Those starting towards the back, Linus Grandforce 11th, Lucas Blakely from 10th. Could he be able to work his way on top? We'll take a look, though, at the starting grid. Dan Hickey and Jack Taylor make it an all-Fortec front row, courtesy of the reverse grid. Both of them looking for a first victory. Callum Baxter's shown some great speed, potentially the favourite to take this victory in the 45 Graham Brunton racing car, alongside Chloe Grant on row number 2. Back on row number 3, it will be Finn Harrison in 5th position with Alicia Palmowski. They had struggles in qualifying. There's already a spin out there on the circuit. We'll update you on that one in a second. It's Lucas Blakely who's gone round. Brandon Templeton will start from 7th position with Leon Wilson starting from 8th. Then the final couple of rows, we'll see Liam Wilson, by the way, starting from Harry Burgoyne Jr. Then, of course, Lucas Blakely in the 10th position, going for a spin. We'll be able to rejoin that spot, which is very confusing. I'm a bit flustered by that. Linus Granfors will start from 11th position, of course. The series champion, Megan Bruce, will start from the final position on the grid. So already bizarre moments here on the start. Lucas Blakely going for a spin whilst warming his tyres a little bit. Just thrown everyone here on the broadcast. Still has been able to return his way, but he's dragging his way back up. Someone that hasn't flustered because he hasn't seen it. Piers Priors in the comedy booth, myself, Lewis McGlade, alongside you for the final round of this season. You didn't see it. He spun, I think, whilst warming the tyres.
Where on circuit?
Out of turn one, out of Paddock Hill, going up towards Druid.
Easily done, to be fair, because it's still not very warm today. Very, very cold air temperature here, and as though it looks like a nice sunny evening. It's still pretty chilly. And these GB4 cars, they struggle to get heat in the tyres. He's going to have to start from the back of the grid?
I think...
I don't know. It's still green flags, so he can still overtake. I don't know why he's not overtaking. Because look, in the background you can see the green flags, which means he can pass cars.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how this one's going to work. Again, he'll either assume the final place on the grid spot, which would be 12th, but he would obviously take the 13th grid slot, or he'll return.
He should be fine, because obviously he's starting at the back of the grid anyway, so it shouldn't make a huge difference.
I was going to say, I don't think it really matters that much. Also, yeah, I tasked him to look back of the grid. He did tell me, by the way, I was having a little chat with both him and his mum between the two GB3 races, actually, and he was telling me that the visibility going into turn 4, which is of course Surtees, is really, really tricky, but the visibility into Westfield Bend, the right-hander, not the first one of the Grand Prix Loop, the second one of the Grand Prix Loop, he said that corner is almost impossible with the sun. It's just at the right height where you're in the shade of the trees, and then suddenly, as you want to go for the apex, blinded.
Yeah, you have to commit before you can literally see where you're going, and that's one of the things about this Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit. You know, there's a lot of blind corners as it is, let alone with the low sun. Drivers will have tinted visors on to act like sunglasses. Where is Lucas Blakely? Is Lucas Blakely on the grid?
I was going to say,
We've got a space. I think Lucas Blakely might... Is he in the pits?
He's gone off!
Oh!
He's gone off at the...
What? He's done it again.
He's been trying to warm his tyres and he's gone into the gravel trap. This will be an aborted start.
Yeah,
so yeah,
start delayed. Yeah, good call by the race directors. He's had a bit of a nightmare.
Good eye.
He's had a bit of a nightmare there, Lewis. I didn't see the first one. We haven't seen the second one yet. Disappointed. You know, he's been unbelievably impressive this second half of the season. There he is. The Blakely is in the back of shot, somewhere in the gravel.
Will he be able to get racing from here?
No, I don't think so. I think that'll probably be it, unfortunately, for Lucas. A very anticlimactic end to his GB4 campaign in 2024.
So weird.
Yeah, unusual. But anyway, we'll skip past that and concentrate on Stu, who is still in the race. We were talking about Lucas Blakely winning from the back. Granfors. Linus Granfors. Joel, of course, raced with us in GB3 in 2022, came second in the championship. His younger brother, Linus, GB4 champion this year, he has shown excellent pace this weekend, probably the only match for Lucas Blakely in race pace. Yeah, with the start delayed, it sounds like we're going to get an extra green flag. Yes, it is confirmed on the live timing as well, so that will shorten the race distance as well. To
16 minutes. We've just had that updated on the live timing as well. So the extra green flag lap reduces the race distance because they take effectively what that green flag lap will take out of the race. So we'll lose 2 minutes from the race, which means actually we won't, because of how they do it, normally it's a 13 lap races, but they only just about have enough time to start the 13th lap. So we're not actually going to lose 1 lap, we'll actually end up losing 2 laps from the race. It will become basically an 11 lap season finale. What a bizarre way to start.
Yeah, bizarre way to start, and it's going to be tricky for the cars on the grid actually, because these GB4 cars don't like sitting stationary, so the drivers will start to see their engine and water and oil temperature start to rise, and if they get too high, potentially they will have some cars either limping or I don't know, causing some issues. So hopefully we can get this car retrieved pretty quickly. They might tell the drivers to turn the cars off while we get this, because it doesn't look like there's a snatch vehicle ready to get that any time. Well, it's not there yet. It'd be good if we can get a zoom boom on the case pretty shortly.
Nice. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Blakely is out. He's going to be disappointed.
He's going to be devastated.
Tell you what, this is the sort of situation where you just want the ground to swallow you up.
Look, can I just clarify? I did say that he was going to come through from 10th to win the race, and I did say that to both him and his mother.
And what did I? I've been commentators cursing people all weekend.
There's no such thing as a commentator's curse. He's the one that's dropped it. I can take no fault in this.
But are you partially responsible?
No.
Anyway, we are rolling up.
Who dropped the car?
Well, Lucas.
Right, exactly.
There's a lot of gravel, actually. There's a lot of gravel.
Yeah, do you know why? It's because Lucas Blakely spun. No, to be fair, that gravel's come from somewhere else. So
that must have been the race previous, before this one, the GT Ginetta race. Yeah, Lucas's car being retrieved. Yeah, he's disappointed. Luckily, no damage. Chloe Grant is stopped on the grid, so maybe I did mention that the cars might be struggling, and maybe she stopped. Maybe she turned the car off to keep it cool. Hang on.
Wait, what?
So some of the cars have gone, and some of the cars remain.
We could
on
not.
The grid. This is second only. This is the most confusing start. Second only to a Formula Winter Series race that I saw earlier this year in Jerez.
Wow. What about the Silverstone race start where we had? I think we got.
Oh no! Yes,
that,
the GB.
That was very confusing.
That was also confusing because that was the one where Finn Harrison thought it was a green, but it wasn't because we had the late starts tend to cause some confusion. Maybe note to GB4 drivers at 2025. Just have a look up at the regulations on what happens if there's a delayed start, because it would help things along massively.
Also, just to clarify, the major difference, in my opinion, between GB4 and GB3 that does actually account for this is in GB3, as Lucas Blakely's having a chat with the marshals, seeing what he can do. In GB3, they have team radios, so
yes.
the team could communicate with the driver, whereas in this, there is no team radio. So you're kind of on your own.
Yes.
And so, take for example, for the two behind, for Jack Taylor and for Baxter here, they've seen Dan Hickey has gone. And they're sat there being like, well, obviously I should go as well, because they've gone.
Yeah, but in theory, if you know that you should stay, it's hard. It is hard. But the regulations will say exactly what to do. I'm not actually completely up to speed with what you should do in certain situations, because I haven't had to race for quite a while. It may have changed since I was driving, but the drivers should be up to speed with those sort of things. Yeah, interesting one. I don't know whether the GB4 Championship plans to have radios for next year, because of course we're carrying over the GB3 car with modifications. So maybe the GB4 Championship will have radios next year. Maybe not. That will all, of course, come out at the start of next season. We will keep you updated when we do the car explainer type thing next year, because that will be interesting to have the car explainers. But it looks like they're allowing these drivers to go back to their original starting positions. Whether there'll be any ramifications after the race, I do not know, because I'm sure the teams that have had their cars sat on the grid will argue, well, hang on, these three cars have had an extra opportunity to warm their tyres up. That's an unfair advantage. So I don't know what's going to happen here.
I was going to ask, I mean, because the race technically hasn't started, then does Lucas Blakely have a chance of potentially starting from pit lane? Now, where they were taking that car, I think the answer is no, because they weren't taking it into the pit lane, they were taking it out of the back of the circuit. So Blakely will not be back in this race. Here's a replay.
Here we go. So Blakely working hard to get temperature in the rear tyres, the right thing to do. Let's have a look at this. So he spins the wheels up one more time, spins the wheels. He's a bit further down, actually, isn't he? Yeah, so all the drivers working hard, weaving and spinning the... Oh, hang on. So he spun.
Oh, no.
He spun that way. Oh, no, Lucas.
Oh, I've got to stand up and leave. That I can't see that.
Oh,
Lucas, no. Oh, give the cameraman straight away, like, we're not watching that.
Oh, Lucas, let's just preface this. Lucas has been one of the most impressive additions to the championship this season. You hate to see that. That is just unfortunate. Again, he's doing the right thing. He's warming the tyres. So easy to do, to have a little half spin. And then it's so easy to underestimate the turning circle or overestimate the turning circle of these GB4 cars. Your car on the road could probably whip round in maybe a radius of about 5 or 6 meters. These cars, they're not designed to turn around, in a U-turn. The steering lock only goes probably a half, maybe a third of a road car. So you kind of need to whip it round with a bit of wheel spin. And Lucas, unfortunately, couldn't do that, and then they've got beached in the gravel.
Which, two things. Number one, he did do that when he did a flick spin earlier on in the lap. Which obviously will give him a little bit of rear tyre temperature as well. But I will say, because of, I think that there's part of this, which is the gradient at that point 100%. Of the circuit, because of how you go down and then back up, actually really hard to flick spin a car. It's really easy to flick spin one of these cars on the flat, but with undulation it does become a lot more difficult, and I don't think he anticipated it would be that tricky.
Also, I think Lucas would appreciate if we just moved on to the race ahead now. This is
poor guy.
You know what? I hate to have this in the last race of the season because he's been genuinely so impressive. I don't. It's one of those things. He'll learn from it. I'm sure that we'll see Lucas Blakely racing other cars in real life in the future. Of course, he continues to race for McLaren Shadow in esports, Formula Esport, F1 Esports World Champion, and he will, of course, learn from this, and he'll move forward. Disappointing, especially when he's worked so hard to get onto the grid this weekend. It's the highs and lows of motorsport, ladies and gentlemen. That is one of those things. He will hate this moment, but hard times, maketh the man, or the person. He is a man. So he will use this to become a stronger, more resilient person and a better driver in the future.
And you have the lowest of lows to give you the highest of highs. You've got to have those dips to take the highs as well. It's a big shame for Lucas Blakely, but I think you're absolutely right. I think we'll move on from it, and we'll focus on the race at hand. They've been given the extra green flag lap. We've got 16 minutes in the race.
Yep, 16 minutes ago. Has it been reduced further? No, it looks like we are going to remain at 16 minutes, which is good. It would be a shame to lose some more time. Dan Hickey does start on pole position, of course. Then alongside him, his teammate Jack Taylor. Both of those drivers would love to get a taste of victory at this final race of the season in GB4. Final race of this genre of GB4 cars.
Yeah. Indeed, obviously, next year we get the upgrade. The GB3 cars will be modified and then handed over to the GB4 paddock. And that will be very, very exciting indeed. So let's see who's going to win the final race of this era in GB4. We've had so many runs in the opening era here, of course, so many fantastic races. Will this be one to add to it as well? Dan Hickey will start from pole position, Jack Taylor alongside. The final race of 2024 about ready to get underway. Great start, I think, from the KMR sport car of Harry Burgoyne Jr. right at the back as he's trying to get to the outside. Good start as well from Dan Hickey. Harry Burgoyne Jr. is going to make it side by side into that first corner, so he's trying to get around the outside of his teammate. Dan Hickey continues lead. Here comes Callum Baxter, who I highlighted as maybe one of the favourites for this race, to the outside in the final corner. Dan Hickey might just about hang on at Druids. Yeah,
everyone's sliding wider through Druids as the tyres are still very cold, but it's Hickey holding the outside line. Baxter on the inside, a bit of a wobble. This is going to be close on the exit, and look who's right there. That is Finn Harrison, and is in the background, the number 21 yellow car. Pomolsky goes wide, and through go both Taylor and Burgoyne, and potentially Templeton as well. So Hickey from the lead down to third now, and it is our leader Callum Baxter up at the front of the field. He's feeling under the weather this weekend, but fancies a fight in the last race.
Yeah, I saw him in the paddock earlier. He didn't look that great as Brandon Templeton's going side by side with Chloe Grant. Defensive line coming in. If there's something that will make you feel slightly better, leading a GB4 race, that will probably give you the run that you need. As there comes a look to the inside. Harry Burgoyne Jr. had a race victory earlier on in the weekend. Looks to the inside of Jack Taylor going into Westfield Bend, but Jack Taylor in the 50. Whoa. Going around the outside. Wow! Alicia Palmowski in the battle for second in the championship in that yellow car was trying to get to the inside of her rival.
Yeah, she was trying to look up the inside, but on down Dingle Dell of Burgoyne. Of course, Palmowski in the yellow car, Burgoyne in that blue and grey car. Burgoyne closing the door hard and forcing Palmowski onto the grass. I think that was a bit naughty, but he'll get away with it. Because there was no harm, no foul as a potential move. Oh, Baxter's gone wide at the clearways. We've seen that so many times this weekend in GB4. That first run through clearways, so easy to run wide. Unfortunately, Baxter's lost the lead and will lose potentially second as well.
Yeah, Dan Hickey to the outside, Harry Burgoyne Jr. to the inside of Jack Taylor. The battle for fourth position there. Dan Hickey is through then, up into second. Alicia Palmowski gets squeezed off into the grass as they head up towards Druids. Oh, there's contact, and there is absolute chaos in all this. Jack Taylor's gone round. He's ended up in the gravel. That car will be beached, and so we will probably need a safety car intervention, but what absolute chaos.
Yeah, drama there. That was Palmowski looking at the inside. She got squeezed onto the grass. Actually, she managed to survive, but it was looked like Jack Taylor had rear suspension damage and front wing damage on Burgoyne's car, so potentially contact between Burgoyne and Taylor. Unfortunately, Taylor, you are probably just going to need to jump out of that machine because that car isn't going anywhere, and our second place in the championship man of Harry Burgoyne Jr. has damage. He may be able to continue depending on whether that the mechanical flag comes out. Megan Bruce fighting with Leon Wilson at the back of the field as well. Lewis, drama.
Oh my goodness, so much drama. Yeah, Megan Bruce here in the white and red car. There is the retirement for Taylor. We didn't really see the incident. We jumped in right at the last minute of it. There's the marshal explaining what's going on, and the safety car is deployed with 13 minutes and 15 seconds left to go. So Finn Harrison is leading this race. But absolute scenes here at Brands Hatch. We knew it was going to be a crazy final race and a bit of a delay for it, and now it's just been absolute chaos.
what the last race of the season, There's been so much going on. Anyway, right, safety car. So, Lewis, run us through the order as we stand.
Yeah, indeed. So Finn Harrison will cross the line as the race leader. Jack Taylor there, obviously out of the car. We'll wait for him to cross over the line. Baxter, of course, has dropped down to third position. So Dan Hickey in second, Callum Baxter in third, Alicia Palmovsky in fourth, Venus Granfors in fifth, Brandon Templeton in sixth position with Chloe Grant and Megan Bruce. Then, of course, Wilson, Harry Burgoyne Jr. into the pit lane to have that front wing repaired with Taylor and obviously Blakely out of the race. I think that's a great call.
Yeah, great call from Burgoyne to pit now, because it's likely to be at least this lap and one more under the safety car. So he may actually well get back to the back of this group. The big winner out of all of this drama was Granfors, actually, up 4 positions to P5. So the KMR Sport team doing a good job there. Tom Mills giving some words of advice. Here we go. Burgoyne back in the race with a new front wing. He may well catch the back of the group and watch him start to scythe his way through. He's about half of the Indy loop, so maybe a kilometre or so behind, but with this.
Yeah, good advice there, I'm sure, from the no longer reigning GB4 champion. Yeah, take a look at this race.
Let's have a look at the race start. So it was a good start from Burgoyne at the back of the field, actually. Also a good start from both the elite cars. Baxter goes all the way around the outside. Let's have a look and see what happens here. So we're 2x2 coming up for the lead. Hickey holds the inside, and around the outside tries to go Chloe Grant. Everyone running a little bit wide on the cold tyres. We then go 2x2 once again. This is where Baxter got the lead initially. Good move up the inside of Graham Hill, as is Jack Taylor. Palmovsky goes wide. This is where Baxter went wide. Almost identical to what we saw from Linus Granfors yesterday. Going wide through clearways. That gives them a poor run, which releases Finn Harrison at the front of the field, and Hickey got through as well. Right, this is what we haven't seen. So it was 3-1. It was Burgoyne squeezing Palmovsky, then Taylor. Unfortunately, I think that's actually on Taylor. I think he's taken himself out there.
Yeah.
There was nowhere that Burgoyne could have gone. He had Palmovsky on the inside. He squeezed Palmovsky, but Palmovsky had enough of an overlap, so he relinquished that position, came out, and then Taylor just tried to dive across and get ahead of both of them, and that caused his rear tyre to be punctured and damaged also Burgoyne's front wing. So let's keep an eye on Burgoyne and Palmovsky in this race, because that's going to be tight in the championship for second place.
Indeed. I will run the numbers in just a second, don't you, Wizwas? But I will say for Taylor, he was running, I think he was running around 5th place in the previous race before dropping back late on and up finishing in around 9th place. But what has shown some great speed this weekend, obviously quite happy to get the elbows out, just maybe a little bit too far. Harry Burgoyne Jr. then has rejoined the end of this train. Yeah. What do you think the advice would have been from Tom Mills?
Probably just lick the stamp, I imagine. It's the last race of the season. He needs to close that gap to Palmovsky. Lewis, I'll let you put some little numbers in your little spreadsheet there.
Thanks, man.
I say little, it's quite hefty actually. I imagine it takes up quite a lot of space on the hard drive with all the different things you've got going on there. It's quite impressive actually, Lewis.
Thanks, man.
It's good that we've got your statistical analysis to keep the viewers at home informed, but the drivers need to be working hard to keep any temperature in those tyres for the GB4 Championship. Lewis, you're pointing at the screen. Talk to me.
They would be joint on points at the moment with Harry Burgoyne Jr. and Alicia Palmovsky. They would both be on 416 apiece.
Do you have a countback calculator?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so we'll leave that to Richard Randall.
I'm not prepared that.
We'll leave that to Richard Randall, who is the series PR, I don't know its official title.
I think it's media coordinator.
Media coordinator for the GB3 and 4 Championships, Richard Randall. Keeps us up to date and informed. He's the one that provides us in the commentary box and everyone behind the scenes with all of the stats so we can make our spreadsheets of doom. I say ours, it's yours, Lewis.
Thank you. You keep saying that as if you don't want to be associated. It's fine.
I just, yeah.
No, it's okay.
I'll give the racing knowledge. You can give the behind the scenes knowledge. But that is tight. But if Burgoyne just gets one position and Palmovsky stays where she is, I would imagine that then flips it in Burgoyne's favour. But also Palmovsky, she's right behind Baxter. Baxter's not feeling the best. Palmovsky's been quicker this weekend. Hickey as well. Hickey, as much as it would be great for him to get a podium, he's not really had the pace. Only just stayed within 103% in qualifying. So it's likely that Baxter, Palmovsky, potentially Granfors are also going to get involved in there.
So whilst Harry Burgoyne Jr. can make up more positions, because obviously he's got Wilson ahead, then Bruce and all that stuff, every position he makes up is 1 point for the position, and then he will also gain the point for the position gained.
Not from where he is, only from his grid position.
Exactly. But the thing is as well, Alicia Palmovsky, if she makes up one position, that is worth 3 points to move up to 3rd position. So she has more hefty points up ahead and definitely can go after this victory. I'm sure she'll be hungry for it to go and take it off of her teammate. The safety car then has run away from the field. Finn Harrison is in control, looking for another victory. He's had one this season, would desperately like a second. Into the final corner he goes, nice and early, and Dan Hickey has fallen asleep behind the wheel. That is an enormous lead for Finn Harrison. Hickey then will cross the line. Baxter's just in tow. Alicia Palmovsky will look to the inside, the number 21, as she'll try and send her way through, straight down the inside of the Graham Brunton racing car. Big commitment into Paddock Hill, and that is the first position ticked off for Palmovsky.
Very important move from Alicia Palmovsky. Very good restart there. Got out the inside initially. That's put her in the hunt for second place, although looking at the back of the field, Burgoyne hasn't made a move up yet, so this Palmovsky has the advantage at the moment, but there's still a lot of racing to go. 7.5 minutes. Brilliant restart from Finn Harrison. I would actually say pretty terrible restart from Dan Hickey. Sorry to say it, Dan, but you need to be a bit more switched on safety car restarts than that. It looks like Leon Wilson's got a bit of material or something hooked on the front of his floor, so maybe struggling a bit with downforce there. But Hickey now under pressure from Palmovsky. This is really important for Palmovsky. She would love to get the second place in the championship.
Yeah, indeed, and it will be an important send for her. They're not separated by very much as Harry Burgoyne Jr. looks to the inside. Here comes Alicia Palmovsky then to make it an elite 1-2. She gets to the inside of Dan Hickey. Very risky move here at Westfield Bend. Dan Hickey is spun. It's going to be right in front of the field, but thankfully they all see that coming. And Dan Hickey drops to the rear of the field, so that is finally a position made up from Harry Burgoyne Jr.
Yeah, so that means that Palmovsky's gone up, but also so has Burgoyne Jr. So I think it'll probably still be in my mental mass, still advantage Palmovsky at this stage, but not by a huge amount. Lewis, by 5 points, is it?
Yeah, by 5 points.
By 5 points or so. So I'm really unfortunate for Dan Hickey there. That's a bit of a lack of experience, unfortunately, there. He basically got just off the racing line, on the marbles, touched the curb and around he went. Disappointing for Hickey. You know, he would have loved to have got a podium at this last stage of the season. Of course, he's new to racing this year. He did join us for one round, didn't he? I think last year. Was I thinking of someone else?
Yeah, I think you were. No, you joined for the last one.
Yeah, he did. So yeah, he's not got a huge amount of racing experience. He's shown, you know, he's improved a lot throughout the year, but unfortunately in this one he's probably going to be towards the back of the field. Let's have a look at that again. So yes, it was Palmovsky. Good move up the inside. She gave him enough room. Hickey just tried. Yeah, he just tried to carry it around the outside. Got off with a rubbered in racing line, and once you're on the dirty stuff, it's so easy to just get whipped round. Good job by everyone else to miss him as well, right in the exit of the corner on what is a blind corner. Good move from Burgoyne past Megan Bruce. So that's another position for Burgoyne now.
Yeah, so that will take it obviously from a 5-point lead for second place in the championship down to a 3-point lead, because it's 1 point for the position gained and then 1 point for a position gained from his grid start as well.
Yes.
But the important bit for him, it's a big gap up to the next car of Wilson.
Yeah, he does have good pace at this stage, and I would imagine it's Baxter at the front of this little group. Burgoyne will probably close up. He's only got 5 minutes. He really needs another place or so. So this is going to go to the wire. Of course, Trust 2 places, you reckon?
2 places at the moment.
Yeah, so he's going to hopefully have to try and close that gap and make up a couple of positions, or hope that some scrapping ensues so that he can bridge that gap a bit sooner. Otherwise, things are looking like they're heading towards Alicia Palmovsky. Palmovsky getting herself onto the podium. So good race from her so far.
4 laps left to go in this race then. 4 laps left to go in this season, and the battle for second in the championship is extremely tight. Big lock up there for Baxter. Was still able to bring it to the apex. Wow, that's pretty impressive actually.
Yeah, I thought he was going to sail wide, and actually it's Chloe Grant that's under pressure now from Leon Wilson. Chloe Grant, the 66, that car we're looking at, and the darker blue with white flashes is Leon Wilson. You can see that bit of material on the right-hand side there, just flapping around. Doesn't seem to be hampering Leon Wilson a huge amount, but he's keeping the pressure on. Also, Granfer's now closed the gap to Palmovsky, even though Palmovsky set the fastest lap on that last lap.
And if Granfors is able to get through, Palmovsky will not finish second in the championship at this point, because she will lose 3 points plus the extra point. It would drop her 1 point behind Harry Burgoyne Jr. if she drops this position. This is really important now for her to hang on.
This is based on provisional maths, of course. We are not an official source. We're just trying to keep you updated as best we could. Thank you, Lewis, for the spreadsheets and mathematics. But it looks like actually Linus Granfor's got a bit of a poor exit now. Now he's under pressure from Brandon Templeton in the 24 Fox Motorsports car.
Yeah, how much would Palmovsky love the idea? For one, she would love Finn Harrison to drop back. Not going to, but would love Finn Harrison to drop back and at least assist her, maybe even let her through. But that's definitely not happening. Finn Harrison has run away. He is, they're all paying for their seats and such, so he's effectively, whilst part of the same team, he's a lone driver, and he doesn't care about the battle for second position. He cares about his own battles.
Yep, it's with this battle here between Palmovsky and Granfors, it's effectively the battle for second in the championship. Even though Granfors has already taken the lead, if Granfors makes it through, then it is second to Burgoyne. So defence needs to be airtight from Alicia Palmovsky if she wants to get that second place But to be honest, Templeton's going to be pushing hard here because he'd love a podium.
Yeah, he would love to have a podium to end the season. With the points that he's scoring as well, he will retake over 4th position in the championship. Obviously, Lucas Blakely, the driver he's battling with, no longer part of this race. Also behind all of this, Callum Baxter and Finn Harrison, who's leading, will actually take over 6th position in the championship, which, considering he started the season with absolutely no points from Alton Park, despite being the fastest driver, to take over 6th position on the championship over Callum Baxter would be a very impressive way to end the run in 2024.
Burgoyne Jr. 6/10 over the line behind Leon Wilson. So he has closed that gap, which was a couple of seconds, going very, very fast. His last lap of the race was actually only half a tenth off the fastest of anyone. So he is going very fast. That is that driver right there, the number 68 KMR Sport driver. He's on the back of Leon Wilson. If he can get past Leon Wilson, that helps his chances of a second place in this championship. You can see it's getting a bit dark out here now. It's the sun is setting here in Kent, and Leon Wilson can see the KMR Sport driver Burgoyne right behind him. Is he in a KMR Sport sandwich? It depends on your leaning in that way, but he's in the middle of 2 KMR Sport cars, and Burgoyne is breathing down his neck.
I will allow sandwich between, but it's not a KMR Sport sandwich.
He is sandwiched between 2 KMR Sport drivers. Chloe Grant ahead, Burgoyne Jr. behind. Leon Wilson defends into Druids. He doesn't think that he's able to be close enough to Chloe Grant to make an overtake, but also doesn't want to be overtaken. He's in a difficult position here. It's really hard to both attack and defend at the same time.
But I think, the advice, like you say, from Tom Mills to Harry Burgoyne Jr. will be full attack. I'm not quite seeing that full attack at the moment. We're on the penultimate lap of this race, about to head on to the final one of the season. Harry Burgoyne Jr. needs to dig deep here. He needs to get past 2 cars, and he will be in 2nd in the championship.
Or he needs to get past 1 car, or no cars, and he needs Linus Granfors to pass Alicia Palmowski. So drama here. This is like an end to a Formula 1 championship where you need someone to finish somewhere, and then Lewis Hamilton's in 6th, and then is that Glock?
We might have ours. That, to be fair, is that Finn Harrison, and to be fair, we don't want to see that. I'm loving seeing Finn Harrison at the front of the field by 4 seconds, absolutely dominating at the moment. Alicia Palmowski is doing everything she needs to do, but Harry Burgoyne Jr. and this entire train is closing in. This is going to be a tough fight. One final lap here, 2.5 miles to decide. 2nd place, you're absolutely right. Wilson's run out wide, but Harry Burgoyne Jr. not close enough.
Oh, Wilson went wide on the exit of Sterling's there, and we've seen that a couple of times this weekend, and drivers lose positions, but somehow Wilson holds onto it and gets a good exit and hasn't lost a position to Burgoyne, but he's going to have dirty tyres now. It's going to be tricky. He's got dirty right-hand side tyres, so through Graham Hill Bend, we may see him have a little bit of a wobble. We'll see, but this battle for 2nd place is still on as well between Palmowski and Granfors.
And Granfors has nothing to lose in this. He'll want to finish on a solid note. He'd like to finish with the 2nd place, to be honest. He's on a podium again, so it'll make it 3 consecutive podiums here at Brands Hatch for Granfors. But he would like to end the season on the highest of highs. He's got nothing to lose. He's already the champion.
Oh, wide again goes Leon Wilson. Now Burgoyne Jr.'s got an overlap. This could be a move that is decisive in the fight for 2nd place. It won't be enough completely, but who knows what will happen. Maybe Chloe Grant will help her teammate.
Yeah, needs 1 more position. Chloe Grant then sat a fair way ahead. This needs to be a mega final sector coming in from Harry Burgoyne Jr., but he's going to have to defend here as the outside line's being taken by Wilson. Harry Burgoyne Jr. up to 7th position. Incredible stuff, and he's going to lose out here potentially. Wilson looking to the inside. Westfield Bend they go through. I think at this point, again, provisionally by my math, I'll update you as soon as I can. I believe it'll be 1 point. He will be behind 2nd place because Alicia Palmowski with 2nd place might just be enough. There could be a drag race to the line though. Finn Harrison will come through the final corner and the final complex. We cut to the 38, and for the 2nd time in 2024, Finn Harrison crosses the line as a winner. It will increase his championship position up to 6th. A fantastic, perfect drive for the number 38. Leads over an elite 1-2. Alicia Palmowski has just about done enough, and with Chloe Grant coming across the line in 6th position in the 66, I believe Harry Burgoyne Jr. is coming up a point short.
Harry Burgoyne Jr., he's been so unlucky in this race. He didn't really deserve to have to come in the pits. Alicia Palmowski waves. She won't know yet whether she's P2 in the championship, I don't think, unless the team have put it on her pit board. Lewis is just double-checking his maths in case we're misinforming you. It's good to see the 2 elite motorsport drivers there, side by side through Graham Hill. Formation flying, they've been strong this season. Thought he didn't take the team's championship, but they are...
Oh, I might have missed on the maths. Oh, well, I'll update you in a second. It's fine.
Lewis, I'll let you run through that again, but Finn Harrison, brilliant drive. Great start, got into the lead. That safety car restart really, really helped, and then he pulled away, did not look back. Alicia Palmowski, an excellent drive as well, up to 2nd place. That could put her in a position to take 2nd in the championship. Again, provisional so far. We don't exactly known. Of course, this is all provisional. This is commentator's maths. As Lewis says, never trust a commentator's maths. But a good finish to the season. Dramatic final race of 2024. Dramatic final race of this era of GB4 racing in these cars. We will say goodbye to these GB4 cars and say hello to the chassis that have been used in GB3 for next season with some updates. Lewis, according to your maths, what does it look like?
According to Big Brain, Big Maths, never trust the commentator's maths, you're absolutely right. Alicia Palmowski has second position by a single point, as we thought she might. It's 422 points at the moment for Alicia Palmowski. Harry Burgoyne Jr. 421.
There is our race winner. You can see what that means. All car rolling backwards. He's had to get back on the brake.
He might struggle here because he can't put it in gear or anything like that.
He's just going to have to wait. Yeah, the pit lane here at Brands Hatch is on a slope. But no, brilliant drive from both the Elite Motorsport drivers there. Harrison taking the win. A big hug there for second place between Sarah Moore and Alicia Palmowski. And also third place. Good shout out for Linus Granfors, who has had an undoubtedly hugely strong season.
Again, it's been so good for Linus Granfors, who just looks, consistent, looks dominant, and there was a bit of a fluster, I think, in the middle of the season where there were a few question marks thrown down to Linus Granfors. I think it was 5 consecutive races without a podium, just 4th place finishes to end the season on 3 consecutive podiums. That would be a really solid effort for him and again the Fortec team. Like I said though, for Harry Burgoyne Jr. had an excellent start to the weekend with a victory. Kind of fell foul a little bit. Unfortunately, that front wing damage, the drama that he had, dropped him right the way back into the thick of things. Alicia Palmowski, though, with back-to-back podiums. She's finished the last few races. She's finished third, fourth, and now second. And I do believe, mathematically, is enough to put her up the 9 points she needed to gain. She gained 10 points on Harry Burgoyne Jr. and should be enough to put her into second in the championship. She might not even know that yet. Again, it'll be, to be fair, I'd find it very unlikely that she would be fully aware. Maybe the team's updated as soon as they've jumped out. There is Finn Harrison, a 1-2 for the Elite Motorsports team, which is obviously a great sign for them. It shows the good speed and the good quality they've had, and I believe it is their first 1-2. We'll head down though to Johners to catch up with our podium.
Me time. Hey, so we're down here with Finn Harrison, who just said to me, I know what time it is. Well, look, you've just finished the last race of the season, P1. How are you feeling?
It's good to end with the P1, isn't it? We've had such hard work through the year. I've won it at Silverstone. It was great to have it here again, and it's great to have it as the last race of the year. So overall, I'm quite pleased with it.
It means you leave on an absolute high. How was that race for you, very briefly? Because we've got to move on very quickly, I'm afraid.
It was pretty good race. It was a good fight to start, and then it was just managing the pace all the way through. And also, the car kind of held me up a bit, but then we got going at the end.
And also amazing for an Elite 1-2.
Yeah, first 1-2 I think of the year for us, so it's quite good.
That's the way to do it. Congratulations. We'll let you go and get your trophy in a second. And I'm sorry that I always come and grab you for an interview. I don't think he maybe enjoys the interview so much. Hey, let's go around 360. That was the first 360 you got on the camera. I'm sure you've been told now, P2 in the championship. How do you feel?
Over the moon, absolutely. Really high pressure race that was. Obviously, Harry had a great start, and I was thinking, oh gosh, this P2 doesn't look like it's going very well, knowing that I needed to start scoring by 9 points. But then all of a sudden I got a really good run out of Paddock Hill and went up the inside into Druids, but he did push me over onto the grass, so it was very close. But I think something happened with his front wing, and I noticed he had to pit under safety car, so I don't know exactly what's happened, but just so pleased for Elite Motorsport to get a 1-2 in the teammate Finn. It's just the best way to end a season, so really happy.
And of course now you're going to get 3 trophies. You're going to get the second place trophy for the race, you're going to get second place trophy for the championship, and you're also going to get a big old cheque for €30,000, which is going to be great to go in towards what you're doing next.
Absolutely, honestly, it's been the best year in GB4. I cannot rate the series highly enough, and I think the future for it looks really exciting next year with a new car, so I just can't thank everybody involved enough. It's been incredible, and my sponsors as well, Lamplight Media and the compliance guys, and all of Elite Motorsport, Jonathan Palmer obviously for setting up the whole series. Just really grateful to everybody, and
a really nice
Johnny home now.
A really nice birthday present for you.
Exactly, thank you so much.
Awesome stuff. We'll see you in a second, Alicia Palmowski. We're going to go round. Where on earth are we going? This way. It's a little bit chaotic. There's a lot of people here. We're going to have a very quick word with Linus because Linus, we've spoken to you loads, so we'll keep it very brief. But to end the season as the champion on the podium, that's the way to do it, right?
Yeah, of course. And to get the podium in reverse grid was really good. Starting P11 and then I was just waiting for him to crash. I saw like 3 cars wide into the second corner. I was like, yeah, it's not going to work. And then the crash happened, and I just went on the inside, and then I think it was P5 or something. And then just in there, I just could pass 2 cars and just finish on the podium.
You had a lot of fun out. You had a lot of fun out there, and also it's great that we've got your family here. We obviously heard from your brother and your parents before the race, and it's great that they can see you win this championship. And whatever you do next, congratulations, and hopefully maybe we'll see you in GB3 next year.
Yeah, I hope so. So see you in the GB3 next year.
Awesome stuff. Linus Granfors there, coming third for Fortec. I mean, a great race there for Elite Motorsport with the 1-2, but great for Fortec as well with the champion. I mean, KMR Sport, we've also got a shout out there. I know Harry Burgoyne Jr. just missed out there, but KMR Sport winning the Teams Championship back at Donington. 3 Teams Championships in a row. Absolutely fantastic work from them. I believe we're going to have a podium. It's going to be another extended podium with all of these different things to give away. And Lewis McGlade will talk you through it beautifully, I'm sure.
Oh, thanks, JJ. Of course, cheers to Johners, and thanks, of course, for all of our drivers there for the brief interviews, because yes, we do have the final race podium procedure, meaning we've got a lot more to go through. It's not just a top 3. We've got the championship trophies to hand out as well. We've got the Sunoco Fastest Driver of the Weekend award, which I think would be Lucas Blakely. Then, of course, we've got the top 3 in the championship to throw out there. We've got the giant check for Alicia Palmovsky for being the lead female driver. And, of course, KMR Sport will finally receive their proper trophy for winning the Teams Championship. So, again, superb stuff. But not before all the pictures are taken for a superb 1-2, and quite rightly so. It was the first 1-2 for Elite this season. It took Finn Harrison a while to get into the rhythm. After starting out the season, and we've said before, and I'll say it again, he was the fastest driver at Alton Park. Absolutely, no doubt in my mind, was the fastest driver. Just had everything set up and scored no points. 3 retirements, absolutely nothing scored. And what was a very difficult weekend, and I think that dented his confidence a little bit. But then the last 3 weekends or so, we're starting to see that Finn Harrison that we know that you can see the speed there, you can see the consistency, and was able to really build on that and show exactly what he could do. So that was good to see. And again, it's a lovely way for him to end the season as the final victor, not only of this weekend, not only of this season, but of course, the final victor of the opening era of the GB4 Championship. Next year, it is changed. We move over from the Tartus T014. We move over into our 2025 car, the adjusted and modified 2022 GB3 car, to make sure that it's not priced out of everyone's pocket. GB4 is a budget championship. It's trying to make it accessible for everyone. You've heard Alicia Palmovsky sing the praises of the GB3 championship, or GB4 championship, and how it's allowed her to do this racing. And that is the same for a lot of drivers in this paddock. Motorsport is expensive, so having a championship like GB4 to make it as cost effective as possible for these drivers, like for example reusing the cars that we had from last year, it's superb to see. Lucas Blakely is in the podium as Jonathan Palmer will work his way through, so they're all waiting to work their way out. Well, they've got to come out in the specific orders again, race order first and then championship order, etc. But of course the race order to be dealt with first. So we will obviously see the top 3 jump their way out onto the podium, the 1-2 for the Elite Motorsports team, and of course 3rd place for Linus Granfors across the line, and then of course the Sunoco Fastest Driver of the Weekend, which again I do believe will be Lucas Blakely, especially the fact that Lucas Blakely is up there as well. The 1-2-3 in the championship is why Harry Burgoyne Jr. is there. Unfortunately it'll be 3rd place for him, but he's really built up a lot on last year, where he's really shown his form. Into 3rd position then, it's the champion, Linus Granfors, onto the podium for the 3rd consecutive time here at Brands Hatch. Already done all the work. Big round of applause for Alicia Palmovsky, and big cheers indeed. 2nd in the championship should be hers by just a single point. Finn Harrison will also gain a little bit in the championship courtesy of that victory as he takes to the top step of the podium, and of course the MSV Chief Executive Jonathan Palmer to hand out the trophies for the victory, for the top 3 rather, for the podium. Again, getting the photographs and stuff, finding out where all the cameras are. There's plenty of them, not just here on the podium, but also down and around all over the place. Obviously, a lot of the teams, a lot of the media are here, staying late, fairly late. It's already come up to 6 o'clock here in the UK. If you are watching around the world, I'm sure there's a few tuning in from various places. And again, seeing the top 3 there take to the podium for the final time this season. Driver on the right will most certainly be the happiest. Linus Granfors has had a tough season, but still comes out on top. And of course, with that victory, with the podium, back onto it and gets through an entire weekend of racing without winning, but still being on the podium in all three of them, which is the first time that's happened. And of course, it's champagne. It's time to get that spraying. It has been a long season. They've not really done it so much. They've actually never done it through this season, because obviously you want to keep those race seats nice and clean. Now is the time where you think, to be fair, let's savour these memories, let's get this sorted. We can dry clean it in the morning, it's okay. So Finn Harrison then for the second time this season victorious. Everyone's getting wet in the pit lane there as well. So it's raining. So at least there's that. It does rain at least once this weekend. It's actually been really nice weather-wise on the Saturday and Sunday. We were expecting an awful lot of rain. Thankfully the rain is just limited to the bubbly stuff. Next, coming out then, I believe, will be the top three in the championship based on what we had in GB3. As it'll be Harry Burgoyne Jr. to third position in the championship. What an improvement it has been from Harry Burgoyne Jr. though, between the two seasons. It took him a long time to take his first victory. He obviously had a lot of podiums this season, a lot of consistency. By just a single point though, beaten out by Alicia Palmovsky. And of course, as we announced in the previous race, Linus Granfors, the Super Swede, to the top step of the podium, doing what his brother couldn't do in GB3. Obviously, old Granfors finished runner-up in GB3. Linus Granfors in GB4 here a couple of years later will take victory. And once again, Jonathan Palmer will hand out those podium trophies for the championship. Yes, bit wet, I think, was what Alicia Palmovsky was trying to tell everyone there. Gets another bottle and, of course, a bigger trophy. And then the top step of the podium, biggest trophy for the biggest season. Linus Granfors had an unbelievable run. 6 victories throughout his entire run in this championship, but an awful lot of podiums. He's really been racking them up, especially this round, where he's finished on the podium in all 3 races. And, of course, he's doing it in the wrong order as Palmer. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Of course, there is the trophy being handed out to Linus Granfors there on the top step. Thankfully, laughs all around, no worries. That check that you just saw, that is the GB4 Champions check. And you can see, you can read it on there, contribution towards British F4 or GB3 for 2025, 50 grand. Not too bad. Speaking of checks, in a second we will see, there we go, 30 grand for Alicia Palmovsky, a career contribution, so that'll assist her potentially into the likes of F1 Academy or wherever she ends up going racing, of course, as she will grab that novelty check. Not too bad for Alicia Palmovsky, the top female driver in 2024. We were kind of expecting her to do it, but to be fair, she was battling for the championship, nearly took the 50 grand for doing that as well. So we'll have to just settle for the 30, it's fine. Again, excellent performance all season from Alicia Palmovsky. A lot of highs, a lot of lows, really had the consistency, sometimes just lacked the speed, especially in that dominant part of the season where Linus Granfors won 4 consecutive races. Didn't quite have the measure of Granfors in that one. And now 2 of the drivers he battled in the championship get to spray it around the champagne. So clearly Harry Burgoyne Jr. is still relatively happy after all of that. Did manage to put on a very solid season and a big gain on where he was back in 2023, of course, where he was guided through the season by Max Maserati, who finished 3rd, of course, in his championship in 2022. So still getting that guidance, but this time coached by Tom Mills and just about building on it, but I'm sure the groundwork laid out there by the driver who finished in 3rd place in 2022. A few more things to deal with on the podium. Of course, the Sunoco Fastest Driver of the Weekend award will go to Lucas Blakely. Unfortunately, a really tough end for Lucas. Still got a smile, but I'm sure that is a tough smile to deal with. It's been a tough end to the weekend, but what has been an excellent run for Lucas Blakely, let's not forget it. He has been the dominant force in this season in the second half. Let's take a look though at highlights from the season finale. Highlights from round 21, and what a dramatic race it was. Dan Hickey leading from pole position after there was already drama and a retirement from the race for Lucas Blakely. Into the first corner, it was made 3 wide as Alicia Palmowski was trying to get past Finn Harrison. A look to the outside from Baxter as he was trying to take over the race lead from Dan Hickey up towards Druids. The inside line from Hickey in the 17 almost looked like it was enough to hold on, but with a run around the outside and just about holding it down into Graham Hill, the 45 of Baxter was able to wrestle his way through into the race lead. Finn Harrison was also able to come through on Dan Hickey and all that, and when there was this mistake for Baxter, Finn Harrison came through to take the lead, and at this point he was trying to run away with it. There was quite a big incident though as we'd work up towards Druids on the second lap. Dan Hickey leading this little group, big squeeze out to one side, and then Jack Taylor coming straight through, making contact with Harry Burgoyne Jr., getting a puncture, spinning off into the gravel trap and requiring the safety car. Once the safety car came back into the pit lane, it was an excellent restart from Finn Harrison. Dan Hickey slightly asleep behind the wheel, allowing Alicia Palmowski to jump right into third position with a big look down the inside. She was through. Then it took this move on Dan Hickey to get through into second place, and that would be enough for her to take second in the championship. Harry Burgoyne Jr. was trying all he could to try and work his way through, but as much as he tried, he could only get that single position, which would put him 1 point behind. Across the line though, for the second time this season, it's Finn Harrison taking a victory in the season finale. Now we'll take a look at provisional results from the last race of the season. Of course, Finn Harrison taking his second victory of the season, 3.5 seconds clear of Alicia Palmowski to make it an Elite Motorsports 1-2. Grand Fours in third position, a couple of tenths behind, still very, very tight indeed. Templeton in fourth position with Baxter inside the top 5. Chloe Grant in 6th position in the 66, able to beat out her teammate who then was losing second in the championship by just a single point. Harry Burgoyne Jr. in 7th place, probably ruining that race a little bit. Wilson in 8th, Bruce in 9th, and then Dan Hickey rounding out the top 10 from reverse grid pole. He'll definitely have been wanting more. Unfortunately, retirement out on the gravel track on lap 2 for Taylor, and the retirement before the race even started for Lucas Blakely. Big shame for Blakely on that one. But it is what it is. Finn Harrison second the fastest lap of the race. Championship-wise, let's talk about what's changed. At the moment, obviously the top, nothing. Linus Grand Fours won the championship in the previous race and has looked like the dominant force this season. Regained the championship lead a few rounds ago and has run away with it. Alicia Palmowski and Harry Burgoyne Jr. separated by just 1 point in advantage of Palmowski. Brandon Templeton as well, with that result, was able to retake over 4th position in the championship from Lucas Blakely. Then Finn Harrison in 6th position with Callum Baxter in 7th. Those two also switching round courtesy of the victory for Finn Harrison to move up to 6th position in the championship. Chloe Grant and Jack Taylor, they were only separated by 4 points, and Chloe Grant taking over 8th position in the championship courtesy of her result. Liam Wilson would finish at the back end of the top 10. What an exciting season it was. And again, I can't wait to do this again next year. GB4 is looking to move itself forward bit by bit. This is my time to say goodbye though, because it's time to head down to Piers, who's with Harry Burgoyne Jr.
Yep, down here, the sun's beginning to set on Brands Hatch Grand Prix Circuit and GB4 in 2024. We've got our 3rd place for the season, Harry Burgoyne Jr. Harry, really unfortunate to lose out in 3rd place in that race. Sometimes things don't always go the way you want them to.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday things went our way, we managed to get a win, but today just wasn't our day really. Just P4 in the first race today, which was good, but it just wasn't good enough to win the championship. And then this afternoon, a bit of contact left us not being able to get second, but it's racing at the end of the day. It's bigger things to move forward to.
Absolutely. Just talk us through that incident, because it looked like it was quite chaotic down towards Druids after that restart.
Yeah, I mean, I was on the inside of a Fortec car, and then Alicia, she was on my inside, and then I got a little bit of a touch from behind, and then the Fortec car just turned in, and then a bit of contact happened, and I managed to lose the front wing, but came back into the pits and put a new one on and went back out. But yeah, that was about it.
Good thinking to get in the pits early and get back out on the back of the group, so you gave it your best shot. Unfortunately, only a point or so short of Alicia at the end. But hey, it's still a pretty good, very strong season from yourself, taking your first wins in GB4. You know, what are you thinking for potentially next year?
Well, hopefully GT. Just need to find the budget. Everyone's so expensive, but my sponsors has been a really good hand this year. I wouldn't be able to race without them. But yeah, just hopefully GT. But we just need to see.
Who have helped you this year then?
Just everyone back home. Like, we do a fundraiser every year, and it's normally in March, and we invite a couple sponsors along and some family friends and everything. But yeah, they gave us a lot of money this year to help us race, so hopefully we can raise the same next year and go again.
Amazing. Harry, thanks for joining us again. I know you're disappointed at this stage. I know you're pretty cold. The wind's very cold here, so I'll let you go and warm up and celebrate what's been a successful year with the team. We're going to grab Linus Grandfors first, actually. Alicia's just having a chat, of course, after a very successful race. Linus, I know you've caught up with Jon already. You've discussed the championship. You know, just tell us how you're going to celebrate maybe this evening going forward, and maybe looking ahead to next year. What are you planning?
Yeah, tonight I think we're going out to eat some dinner, and just the whole family is here with us today in England. So yeah, it's going to celebrate just tonight, and yeah, then we're going back to Sweden Monday night, and then just back to school and everything. And I think we're planning to do GB3 next year, but we don't know yet. So yeah, time will tell.
Linus, it'll be great to see you in GB3 next year. Thanks for catching up with us once again. I'll let you go and celebrate your championship with the rest of the team. And now Alicia Pomorski. Alicia, yeah, Mum Natalie in the background has got the big check. She's waving it around like, I won't say what type of show, but Alicia, you must be very happy. I know of course you caught up with Jon already, but hey, a good end to the season just to pip Harry Burgoyne. Unfortunate for him, but good for you.
Yeah, absolutely over the moon. There was a lot of pressure going into that race, obviously being 9 points behind. But I wanted that second place so much. It's been such a tricky year, highs and lows. We were 72 points off the lead of the championship at one point, so we had a great weekend at Snetterton, which brought us back into contention. But then once we'd lost the championship to Linus, which is very well deserved, congratulations to him. I just really wanted that second. I said if I came third in the championship, I warned my parents that we were going to have a very dull journey home. But now it's going to be full of karaoke, so I'm very pleased, very happy.
Yeah, let's talk about those celebrations. Of course, you've got a nice very large check over there. That would be quite nice. That a career contribution as well, which hopefully you'll be able to use in the future. I know that you've got plans ongoing in the background to get out racing again next year. What are you going to do in the winter? What have you got plans?
I don't know, to be totally honest at the minute. Just going to focus on celebrating this year. It's been such a difficult year. The team have put so much effort in, as have I. So yeah, I'll stay in the gym, make sure I'm still physically as fit as possible for next season. Hopefully we've got some testing lined up, and I've got an announcement hopefully coming in the next 2 to 3 months on what next year's plans are. But it's going to be very exciting, so watch this space. All
right, we'll look forward to watching that. Alicia, congratulations. I think we've got someone else we want to grab over here, Jon.
Yeah, so actually Alicia said to me that the one thing she wanted to celebrate getting that check and coming second is for her mum to talk on the live stream. So you avoided it last time. How proud are you?
So proud, you sneaky so-and-sos. Hi everyone, thanks for watching.
So you made a 42-minute birthday video, I've heard.
I did, yeah.
I'm really sorry that I actually didn't get back to you, but I've heard it was more than long enough.
It was more than long enough, yeah, it was fantastic. Thank you to everybody that did it for me and for Alicia. She's laughing in the background now.
She stitched you up here. How are you going to be celebrating?
Well, I've got no champagne, have I? Because she's just sprayed it all, so...
She's just hit our cameraman, actually.
Yeah, a long drive home and karaoke.
Okay.
We'll be happy. We'll sing song. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Well, look, we promised that we'd get you on the live stream. We've got you on the live stream now, so thank you very much.
Thank you very much, everyone.
There we go, Natalie Pomorski. Was that all right?
Amazing, thank you
Go
so
in
much.
the end.
I'm absolutely buzzing.
You run off and celebrate. We're the wrong side, Piers.
And
told we're like Antidet. We've got to stand the right side. I mean, just a frantic, funny end. Obviously, Lucas Blakely. We did try and talk to Lucas. Absolutely. Just gutted.
I'm going to say the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to say the same thing I said to him, which is he's had an amazing impact on the championship. And as much as that last race wasn't ideal for him, he will hopefully move on to bigger and better things.
Absolutely. There's one person actually that we've heard from, but we've not heard from, and that is Naomi, who's going to come in the middle of us here. And we're just going to say thank you very much because you've been doing interviews for us this year. It's been a great season for you.
It's been brilliant. It's been good fun, and seeing all the talent grow, it's been brilliant. Yeah.
Was the highlight of the season when we were at Zandvoort and you were over at Snetterton holding the ship with just yourself there?
Yeah, it was top 10 experience.
How would you rate the performance?
I think Naomi, I'll give Naomi a 10 out of 10, absolutely. It will be good to have Naomi back again next year, helping us out, getting in the interviews and hearing from the drivers. You okay for that?
Yeah, hopefully.
And actually, we've got to say congratulations. Thank you very much to Naomi's mum and dad, who ferry her around the country and then just hang around at random race weekends and go shopping and go to spa days while she's here working with us.
It sounds like a chore.
I think they've got the better deal here. So yeah, hello to Naomi's parents. It's not all about us though. It's about our amazing champions, and we've already crowned GB3 and GB4 this weekend. This is the final moments of the season. Linus Grandfors, a great champion. Hopefully we see Linus in the GB3 Championship next year. all signs pointing that way. But that's it, so you can watch back every single race from this season, and of course you can see all the photos and all the celebrations that are going on as it gets dark here at Brands Hatch. I'm sure the party's going to be going on well into the night, and maybe with Alicia Pomowski and her mum Natalie in the car on the way home doing a bit of karaoke. Thank you for watching all year. We'll be back next year, 2 brand new cars in the GB3 and the GB4 Championship. Piers has already tried one of them, it's pretty special. Hopefully we'll get him in the GB3 car as well. End of April is when it all kicks off, and we will hope to see you there soon.